Hello! This is Matt O'Leary, and today I'll be reviewing Carrie and Lowell, the 7th full-length album by indie, folk, electronic singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and composer Sufjan Stevens. I did sing Chicago with my college a cappella group, but before this album I had really never heard anything from Sufjan, and not any full albums, definitely. So I went into it as a music fan and not a Sufjan fan, and I think because I didn't have any biases, that made my experience more enjoyable. The storyline really grabbed me because as an aspiring songwriter, I'm really fascinated by this child-parent relationship and trying to dissect and derive meaning from childhood and adolescence. Carrie is Sufjan's mom, and this album is all about her. She had schizophrenia, and she left Sufjan as a very young boy and was only in his life off and on until she died very recently. So this is very much just a heartbreaking story about their relationship. This is an album that's just so honest and real and raw that it really just impacts you on a deep emotional level right away because of its transparency. Even though this album is very heavy thematically, there's a youthful playfulness to all the lyrics from Sufjan. Sufjan sounds at least 10 years younger than he actually is. I was shocked to find out that he is 39. Accompanying the extremely in-depth lyrics is this very basic instrumental approach. All the songs are filled with acoustic guitar and also Sufjan's doubled, ghost-like, and often whispery vocal. Some of the songs have these brief synth and string parts, but really there's very little variety instrumentally, so it's very sonically consistent. And although I would, welcome a little more diversity from him, I think this really works as a solid and complete and coherent piece. Never once feels unoriginal or redundant. Although he doesn't label himself as a Christian artist, he obviously knows his Bible front to back. In fact, that's what I want to go into depth with on this album review, is Sufjan as an artist that is a Christian and not a Christian artist. It's completely refreshing and inspiring to know that Sufjan is very aware and involved in his relationship with Christ, but he's not succumbing to the artistically crippling and very creatively exhausted Christian music genre. Instead, he creates captivating art that shows Christ reigns without relying on these fluffy and overly simplistic statements of faith. The song Drawn to the Blood directly references the story of Samson and Delilah from the Old Testament. Sufjan really mirrors the sentiments of Samson, specifically when he is imprisoned by the Philistines. And on the song, Sufjan is very much crying out to the Lord the same way Samson did. He sings about forgiveness and grace for his mother, but he doesn't try to hide the other emotions, the dirty and ugly emotions like pain, anguish, shame, regret. Instead, he boldly expresses these emotions, and there's no real resolution at the end. He still, in his heart, feels like there's some injustice with his relationship with his mother. He talks about isolation from his family and God, things that aren't really talked about in the Christian music realm. So besides not having an answer at the end, he also doesn't try to fake or put on this artificial optimism that pervades a lot of Christian music. I mean, in the song All of Me Wants All of You, I think the line is, "You check your text while I masturbated." Who says masturbated as a Christian artist? There are tons of little specific details like that that are really memorable, but also show you that he's not necessarily trying to make art. He's just taking you into his world and his mind. I can make a whole nother review just talking about the music itself, but I really want to let you experience this thing on your own because it's really a gift to be savored. Also, I want you to go into it a little bit like me without too many preconceived ideas or biases. My favorite tracks are Death with Dignity, Should Have Known Better, Drawn to the Blood, 4th of July, No Shade in the Shadow of the Cross. You get the point. Did I mention my wife also loves this album? Yes. I can't wait to see how this thing grows on me, and I have a feeling that it's going to be timeless. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I picked this album up on vinyl right away because I loved it so much, and I really like this cover. Also think this is really interesting here. And then there's a nice picture, I think it might be of Sufjan, here on this pullout. Definitely get a physical copy of this just because of the lyrics. I thought I knew a lot of the lyrics, but then when I read this while listening to it, I realized I didn't have them all right, so definitely do that. Let me know what you think I could do better on these reviews, and also how you like this shorter format compared to the other reviews I've done, which is more of a track by track thing.